Everyone, and welcome back to the Smite Console League Qualifiers. We're in North America. It's the last week. We apologize for the delay, but we'll be getting right into it. And it's going to be actually Noble taking on COG, two teams we haven't seen just yet.
That's right. I'm excited to see both of these teams compete in the console league, and let's see how they got here. So Cognitive Gaming taking down Pedro's Vote and the Sambams, and then they're going to face off against Noble, who took down Samurai and Team Bread.
Now, the top three teams were already qualified into the Console Pro League, so they did not take part this week. That were Eager, Airday Carry, who we have seen in the finals every week, and then Most Wanted Esports, who I think had an appearance earlier on.
Sure. But Cognitive Gaming and Noble both new to this broadcast, and it will be very exciting to see what they can do. If you follow the sort of deeper parts of the North American Pro League from last season, you might remember some of the players from Noble, Junipera and Lou.
Yeah, the duo lane. They've been together for a while. Junipera actually the sub for this team, as Noble was looking for or trying to get her online because they were missing a member after their semifinals runs. Let's get into picks and bans, though. No more time wasted. And Cognitive Gaming, they're going to be first pick here against Noble Esports.
That's right. So the question is always, what are they going to ban first? And what's their plan going to this draft? Are they going to try and maybe pick generic and then sort of counter pick later on in the draft? Or are they just going to go for those power picks? Taking Zeus off the board, it looks like they want to cut down on the number of strategies that Noble can play.
Guan going to be banned on the other side as well. It got very powerful in the console scene. We see him banned out almost every single time in the first phase. And if he's not banned out, he's usually first picked.
Right, he's just got so much damage, and he's also very mobile in a strange and hard-to-track sort of way. Kepri removed, who's strong all over the place, along with Ao Kwang. They're also sort of counterparts, but taking them both off the board, just removing that entire thing. Odin, though,
left open. He's
super strong everywhere because the cage is up all the time, and it's basically a free pick.
And here's the thing about Odin as well, is, obviously, if you first pick it, well, the other team can go, oh, well, it's easier to pick against, right? Because we just need to pick gods with jumps, Nova Mana, but in the same realm, it kind of limits your picks as well, right? Although you can counterpick and get options to kind of escape Odin rings, the fact that you can't pick those gods limits your strategies once again.
Now, I love this Awilix pick for two reasons. One, it's a decent counter to Odin, similar to the way it counters Bacchus. He goes for his combo, you pull him. And then the other thing is it actually removes the Awilix from the team with the Odin, because naturally when you see an Odin ring, you jump out. And if they have an Awilix,
you're pulling
them
right back in.
That's right.
Hou-Yi as well, kind of that big area of denial. And Odin, who likes to combo with the Isises, the Zeuses, and the Hou-Yis, you take that away. Another one less option for Cognitive Gaming to kind of synergize together. But this Odin, not going to be support. Athena drafted. Could go more than likely in the support role, I would imagine.
That's right. So the Odin, potentially jungle, potentially solo. We'll see what they end up doing. I personally quite like jungle Odin just because you've got that phase in around the mid game where your camp clear is you just jump on it and you're done, which might not be worth the pick in that role, but it's just super fun.
And it's kind of like support as well, where it's like it's a role that's going to be in the core, right? The 3v3 mid lane core that we see. So you're going to have a lot more opportunities to set up as opposed to a solo Odin who's going to not come online until the 10+ minute mark when those players start rotating in. Bacchus also going to be drafted for Noble Esports to round out their first phase.
Right, and I think that's just to add a little bit of synergy to working with the Awilix. I think they wanted something that they can combo the pull off of, and that means it's either Sobek or Bacchus. Bacchus a little bit harder to lock down. He's very good at avoiding the cage, whereas Sobek would just get lock the croc.
Lock the croc, as Tom says. And junglers actually going to be targeted out by Noble Esports. Kali, Hunbat's not going to be picked up here by any team. And Cognitive Gaming, they're looking at solo lanes for the most part, which might lead you to believe that Odin's going solo lane, honestly. I mean, if you're banning out solo laners, you don't have the first pick here. I mean, I think that's kind of spelling it out for me.
It totally is. Now, I like the jungle bans because they've already got their jungle picks, so just take away as many options as possible from Cognitive Gaming. And we've already seen 3, potentially 4 with the Guan Yu jungle bans from Noble Esports. Chronos for the mid lane, who's consistently very strong, might be a little bit lacking in peel for so many backline characters on Noble with the Hou-Yi and the Chronos, but they both honestly have decent self-peel.
And that's really important if your team's kind of this aggressive composition where it's the Awilix and the Bacchus who are really looking to dive the opponent's backline. Thor going to be drafted for Cognitive Gaming, so double global coming out from them, Thor and Athena. And with the Odin, I have to imagine they're going to be looking to get aggressive early and try and find some picks.
It's so strange to see so many jungle bans and then Thor goes through, who's just such a classic strong jungler. Hell actually drafted for Cognitive Gaming, and now this is something that I remember from my tenure as a coach with Eager, is the Odin and Hell combination is fantastic because you're taking away your natural counter. Odin is very good against Hell because she cannot escape the cage.
No healing as well.
That's right. And you're also providing readily accessible and very powerful peel for the Hell as you just put down the cage and restrict the number of places your opponents can go. However, a character like Serqet, so mobile, she doesn't really care.
And this, to me, that means the Awilix is in soul lane matching up against the Odin. And we've actually seen the Awilix, if you look at the traditional finals we're seeing in the Xbox qualifiers, it's Chapo of EDC up against Eager's Dorst. And they've played this matchup, and honestly, the Awilix won it front to back. Like, it was just not even close. Chapo took control, destroyed the Odin in the 1v1, and then kind of rotated out. Now, EDC kind of threw late game, but still, the direct matchup on console so far has gone to the Awilix.
Something definitely interesting is that Cognitive Gaming has chosen to put their Hell in the duo lane with the Athena. I think they weren't comfortable putting her solo, and mid they feel like she would be a little too exposed, so they're just going to take her as far away from the middle, from the focus points of the map. Yeah, exactly. Put her on the edge, have Thor camp the left side of the map. You can always rotate.
How do you feel about this too? Because Paul has actually run this before. I don't recall if it was in the open bracket qualifier. I don't know if it was in these open bracket qualifiers or if it was the end of last year. So yeah, I just got confirmation. It was actually earlier on in the console qualifiers where we were able to, before we watched just the finals, we saw some of the semis, and he's run this before, but I mean, they haven't been able to make it to the finals just yet outside of this week.
That's right. So it'll be interesting to see how this does, and even more interesting to see how Lou is going to respond to it. I think he needs to play his ranges very carefully. Hell can do a tremendous amount of damage with her repulse and her decay if you get too close to her, especially when she's around level 10 to level 12.
For those of you not too familiar with the Cognitive Gaming lineup, as we have not seen them in quite some time, it's yoyoabc in the soul lane. Junipera going to be supporting on Bacchus.
That's Noble.
Oh, did I say
you
COG, right?
COG.
Okay, I meant Noble. yoyoabc going to be the soul laner. Awilix. Junipera supporting on Bacchus. Supra, mid lane Chronos. Epsilon Shame, who's no longer on Epsilon, going to be the jungler. And then Lou going to play Ho Yi. And that Junipera Lou dual lane, I mean, it's been around for years now, honestly.
Yeah, quite some time. On the other side, Cognitive Gaming, UzzyWuzzy in the solo, Keegan in the jungle, Freya in the mid, not playing Freya, Stormy in support, and Paul as your duo lane carry.
Something like that.
Not a
in a
hunter.
little bit of trouble, too. Stunned out here, and you can see pressured out. No blue buff, as the Hell is in this dual lane, so it's going to be hard. The pressure being put on right now by Junipera and Lou, and I think this is what they need to do, kind of make sure Hell can't go crazy early.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes down to just wearing down Paul's mana pool. He actually didn't opt for the Soul Stone. He went for the Vamp Shroud, and he's getting quite low. Lou does need to hit the shot, and he's going to find it, taking down First Blood, getting rid of Paul on that Hell. That is a huge victory for Noble, and they need to take that advantage and get dividends off of it.
Right lane, UzzyWuzzy in a little bit of trouble too. yoyoabc tanking up creeps, but still putting the pressure on. Needs to be a little bit careful though. UzzyWuzzy jumping forward, look for the auto attacks. Feather Step!
Oh, gets him!
Bowling ball, and that's going to be a solo kill. Not First Blood though, but still a lead in the solo lane.
Yeah, that was looking very close, but it was a fantastic burst right at the end to get the kill onto yoyoabc and not get himself killed. In the middle lane, Supra very low, probably forced to back pretty soon, and Shame and Supra are definitely being pressured here. They need this part of the laning phase to break up so that they can start to split up a little bit more and have a strong presence on the map. I especially like the idea of ganking the solo lane with a Serqet and an Awilix. I think Odin wouldn't have a ton of trouble.
Left-hand side, though. Oh, actually, no, right-hand side. Cage used as UzzyWuzzy continues to get pressured out by yoyoabc. And dive potentially under the tower here, not going to happen. And now, 300 gold down. It's looking not dire for Cognitive Gaming, but I mean, they have this Odin who really excels at the early game and the Hell that's trying to get to late game, but has already found a death. What's the likelihood that they're able to kind of recover this early deficit?
I mean, the question is not will Hell feed? The question is how much will she feed? Because there is this limit.
Okay.
I want to say 4 kills at 12 or 4 deaths at 12 minutes.
Okay.
If she's at that point or has less deaths, COG's actually doing pretty good.
So you can have your Hell die 4 times and still feel comfortable.
Yeah, it depends on the situation,
Okay.
but Hell is going to die, and she's going to die more than once. If that doesn't happen, dude, you've won, right?
True. I mean, late game Hell is not something you want to mess with. Also, items like Dynasty Plate Helm kind of rising in Season 3, going to help her out there. You can see Paul not doing so hot so far, but as Lou got that first blood, 500 gold lead. And here's the thing, though. Noble not really pressuring out the jungle too much of Cognitive Gaming, even though they have these leads.
Yeah. I think they're just waiting for their Serqet to get ready and comfortable to gank. Not going for the blink, going for the purification first. So actually playing a little bit more conservative is Shame. And he's going to maybe just try and not die and sort of counter pressure or show up for the counter ganks, right? Like his lanes apply a lot of pressure. They put themselves in position to get ganked.
Especially by Thor.
Exactly. And then Serqet is there.
And then Serqet kills everyone.
Yes,
right?
everyone.
Is that how it's going to happen?
With the throwing the people and then they explode and everyone gets poisoned, that whole thing. UzzyWuzzy getting very, very low. yoyoabc can't quite get that kill. He's done a ton of player damage. He's been consistently very aggressive, and I think he's just getting in Uzzy's head at this point.
And it's really hard, honestly. Mid lane, though, we actually have a dash forward by Athena. They're looking to combine 4 Chronos, but he's going to get the rewind off.
Oh, perfect.
Nothing to worry about there too much. And like you said, perfect, right? Sitting at 10%. And actually, UzzyWuzzy going to find the 1v1. You can see yoyoabc dove a little bit too deep. Serqet here in the mid lane. Junipera jumps forward, but the Corporeal form already activated. Coming out of Freya, and now once again Stormy looking for Chronos. This time he doesn't have rewind, and Freya finds a return kill. Keegan in the sky, gonna come crashing down onto Junipera here, but it doesn't look like the rest of the team is ready to follow up, and it's just gonna be a solo kill on the right-hand side, but another rotation coming in.
Yeah, Keegan in a lot of trouble. He does have a dot on him, but it might not be enough to kill as Uzzy teleports in, will jump forward, his cage is available, but he cannot find anyone. It's just going to be a disengage from Noble.
Still raging on. This is so not only do Cognitive get to 2 kills, but this is also going to allow Paul to kind of get some solo farm with Hoyi's rotation.
I think what happened there was Yo-Yo got too aggressive. He tried to tower dive. He made a mistake and he died. And then Noble said, oh god, we got to fight mid. And they just went in at the wrong time. They weren't particularly punished for it. They did lose their Chronos. Actually, they were punished for it. They lost their Chronos. They didn't get anything back. So never mind. Yeah, that sucked for Noble.
And that lead that Awilix had, right, it was about 300 gold, now completely turned on its head. It's UzzyWuzzy who now has the 300 gold advantage. But yoyoabc, not going to give up, continuing to be aggressive here. Going to throw some autos, but Uzzy's fine. He'll just walk out of there.
He's fine. Keegan not finding the double tap. Might get, no damage off of the Berserker Barrage there either. Just going to try and put the fear of Thor into yoyoabc and say, hey, you can't play that aggressive. I'm here. I will gank you.
Try and dive again. See what happens. Then Keegan's going to rotate out there. yoyoabc finishing off his wave, and he's actually going for kind of this frontline build.
He can totally take this blue buff here. He might not know that he can take it, but he can totally take that blue buff.
I don't think he knew it was about to spawn.
Maybe that, and maybe he just didn't. I think more that he didn't realize that Noble was completely on the wrong side of the map.
They were, what, 4-man splitting their,
yeah, they
their
like
red there?
3 or 4-man the red buff.
Having fun. But we're 7 minutes in, 2 for 2. Dead even game, though, only about 100 gold lead. Still, though, there's just this threat, right? It's the ticking time bomb. It's kind of like Kali, Hell.
Yep.
Haven't seen her too much. They also have the Odin, so they don't have to worry about kind of Hell getting trapped in. And Noble Esports, I feel like they really need to start trying to push their advantage.
They do. The only advantage that they're pressuring is the solo lane. And sure, making Odin worthless is fine. But he's just a cage anyway. He might be a cage that dies more often, but really late game, that's all he's going to be. Chronos does get fairly low, will be forced to rewind, and actually a fair bit of damage onto Stormy, who will get stunned out here, drop down to just about 200 health, but Junipera and Supra, they cannot clean up that kill, and honestly, I just have not seen Shame all game.
He's just been farming, it seems. Even right now, doing the fire elementals when his soul laner already has control of the wave. He's going to wait for the split to come in, but not really ahead of anyone. Actually behind in gold. So despite all his farming, it's still Keegan who's got the advantage. Will still away this boar though.
Yeah,
so
that's a decent play, but for the most part, he's just sort of been walking around on wards. Like, hey, look, I'm over here.
Look, under 800 damage right now, even lower than Athena's.
Yeah, I think his damage is like 1 tick of a dash and his ult on Keegan.
Okay.
But hasn't really found too much yet. But on the other hand, yoyoabc has just been killing it. Might be getting a little bit more aggressive than he needs to. If he doesn't have his feather step up to chunk the shield, Odin will do 300, 400 damage.
And that's just what happened, right? Feather step into the tower, takes a tower shot, and then the shield just returns it. Left-hand side, though, Paul has recovered quite nicely.
He's exactly where he wants to be. He's got 2 pen items. He's level 10, and the way you level on Hell is you don't really put too many points in your ultimate or your 2. You just max your 3 and your 1. So he's doing a ton of damage now.
Shame.
Solo kill on the right-hand side. Shame, though, he's in a tough spot.
Actually, might be able to find a return. Lou jumps in the air. The stun coming up from Junipera, not going to connect, and it's actually going to be Keegan to the sky here. There are a couple low members. He's looking for Lou, finds the stun. There's the double tap. Keegan takes him out. Athena dashing forward, and now it's actually Shame trying to return the kill. There's the ultimate. True damage should be enough here, but the question is, will the poison spread? It doesn't even matter. Rotation coming in, and Hell finds a double.
Yeah, I think Hell was the cleanup there, but man, Freya did such a great job poking with the 2, and that ultimate did so much damage to everyone. Paul now very low. yoyoabc likely will be able to get this kill. No, slowed off and then taunted by Stormy. He'll die for his Hell, but that's your job, man.
Look at this, though. UzzyWuzzy teleporting in. yoyoabc jumps over the wall, but now the target is the Chronos. Has the rewind. Where's he going to be positioned, however? Right in front of UzzyWuzzy. The cage is there. He has no mana, but also no follow-up.
He's got jukes. He's got jukes.
There's no follow-up.
He's got an Awilix. There is a root available. They're going to remove the shield. Now Odin really lacks damage, and they can just walk away. So Odin just didn't really have a way to...
That was the least exciting turnaround I've ever seen. They're just like Cage, and it's like, well, I have auto attacks.
I have auto attacks, yeah. He needed to save his shield for the jump and just go for the bird bomb. That was the only way he could get that kill. But either way, 5-5. Cognitive Gaming is in a good spot here because they're not behind.
And they have the Hell.
Yeah, exactly. They're not behind with a Hell, which is...
You gotta, like,
well,
not behind. Yeah, you gotta put something to that. And the yoyoabc, though, 2-1-1, has really been controlling this solo lane. Has press played online. Only 100 gold lead, though. And honestly, UzzyWuzzy wasn't able to make it to that fight. UzzyWuzzy tried to... Okay, I was trying to go for a pun there.
I was waiting for it, man. I was waiting for it. UzzyWuzzy was having some trouble with yoyoabc. Does have Suku, will jump into the tower. Nice juke from Uzzy. Probably saves him? Yes, it will.
Mid lane, though, it's actually Thor. Comes crashing down. Junipera in a little bit of trouble. Double tap doesn't connect, and Keegan's going to fall. Caught in a 2v1.
Yeah, he missed that double tap, and it spelled his death. Hou-Yi ultimate will zone off Freya, and is going to get Serqeted right into the poison, but Lou takes a lot of burst, forced to jump out. Freya gets very low, and will just barely survive a Hell Hill timed just right, and he's able to get out as Supra is taken down by Paul, who's just going entirely unmolested in these team fights. Yo-Yo jumps in the tower. He wants the kill. He knew he was going to die, so he went for the kill. He just didn't find it.
Still, a lot of greed coming out of Noble Esports. You see them just chasing kills. Shane missing the full combo onto Soul, which would have honestly guaranteed the death. And Cognitive Gaming just team fighting better here. Junipera, the only one left standing to defend this gold.
She's got Intoxicate, though.
She has everything.
This is totally possible.
Looking for the jump.
Jump and flop. Let's go.
No one's zoning just yet.
Oh, right now. Oh,
didn't
go for it. Didn't go for it. Come on. What would Incon have done?
I mean, Incon would have went for it.
He would have stolen it with a basic attack. That's right.
I don't know. Have you seen? Did you see hi-rez in the SPL?
Yeah, he would have stolen it with So Beautiful through 3 people. Yep.
3 times, man. One of them was on her, to be fair, but still, it was absurd.
Right. You got to go for it, or you die.
Now Cognitive Gaming won the team fight. Also got the Gold Fury, 2K up.
Yeah. They're feeling good.
Experience as well. And UzzyWuzzy, who is kind of getting handled by yoyoabc. I mean, he's fine.
Yeah,
he's absolutely fine.
He's doing okay. yoyoabc trying to stay aggressive on this Odin, but eventually there's just a point where Odin's got enough CDR that he's just going to shield himself on cooldown, and you're not going to do enough damage. Now, they do have a Serqet ult available. Nice pull, belly flop coming in. UzzyWuzzy, he was a bear, and he is going to get out. Serqet jumps over to the wall, but won't be able to get the kill just yet. Uzzy gets another shield available, and he's not going to die until the final auto attack from Supra.
And now it's yoyoabc and the rest of Noble Esports pressing forward. Keegan gonna get stunned out. Junipera flops him in the sky, and it's a Stormy just trying to peel as best as he can. No taunt available. Backline Shane gonna dive to the tower once again. Noble diving so deep. yoyoabc under tower as well. Jumps forward, looking for it. Keegan hammers out. He's gonna fall again. No way. APC gets out of this. Freya on the rotation finishes him off. Noble Esports, greedy Esports.
They're going aggressive. They're trying to make big plays, and then when it comes down to it, they're just not hitting the skill shots. Shame had that kill, but he only hit a single tick of his dash when he tried to triple dash someone.
But the thing is, too, they're also, like, repeatedly going, like, there is no, it doesn't seem anyone's calling, all right, we missed the opportunity, back up. It's allowing Cognitive Gaming to rotate in and clean up every time.
Kevin, you gotta go back in.
You gotta go back in.
You gotta go back in. That's right.
What's the call? We go in. Nothing else.
That's right. Junipera is going to be backing off here, though. Does see the Thor wall coming through the wall. So going to know that that's a bad situation to be in. Right now, Cognitive Gaming, 35K to 32. So they're in a good spot. Their Hell is doing just fine.
Oh, Warlock's online for her as well.
Yeah. I actually would have liked to see an Ethereal Staff.
Just kind of the instant, like, I get all the health.
That's right, yeah. I mean, you don't need to stack. You don't need magic
what's
power.
The timing? Because, actually, a gank here. yoyoabc jumps forward. He can't get out of this. Featherstep can immune a little bit of damage from the Athena ult, but it doesn't matter. One more swing. UzzyWuzzy finds it.
They gave it to Uzzy.
2, 3, and 1.
They gave it to Uzzy. I would have liked that on the Thor. But either way, man, that was a nice gank, just punishing yoyoabc for being way too aggressive. And he has to realize that it's at the point where you can't kill Odin anymore. It's just not even worth it.
Has breastplate online.
There are 4 people on the left-hand side of the map, and Paul isn't dead, which I have to categorize as a misplay.
Like, just dive him at this point?
Yeah, dude, just go dive him to the Phoenix, man.
And, I mean, Global's down from Athena was used to gank, so, I mean, it's fine. But it's the game of chicken that you talked about in the SPL sets.
I love chicken.
But, honestly, this is kind of a winning thing for Cognitive Gaming here.
Awilix is not going to look good here.
Going to be off the mark. There's the taunt locked in the cage. yoyoabc going to have to jump out, but a lot of abilities expended to try and kill him. And now, Cognitive Gaming, look at this. It's actually the Chronos who has rotated over. He's looking for Keegan. They're still looking for the Phoenix early on. They might have pulled their own Noble and overextended. It is finally going to fall. yoyoabc
on the left-hand side,
chase.
though, Paul, he can't do the same thing. He's not as mobile, not as versatile of a character, so he will get taken down. And now it's only an Odin left to defend that Phoenix as yoyoabc finds Keegan. Freya's in a fair bit of trouble, and I expect will not get out here. But yoyoabc might die, depends on the cooldowns. Featherstep is good and does somehow avoid standing in that puddle of fire. Freya goes down. He finds the kill. That's just fine. On the left-hand side, though,
Junipera in a lot of trouble.
The support squad might find this kill on Bacchus.
Trapped in the cage. It just takes one more hit.
Oh, the jukes. Oh, gets him.
Stormy going to find it. And now, Shame actually staying around here with Lou. UzzyWuzzy not giving this up. And, I mean, overall, that's a win for Cognitive Gaming. The kills go about even, I would say so. I'm not exactly sure where we started on there. But, I mean, a Phoenix for Cognitive Gaming. Fire creeps coming into your base at only 16 minutes. That's not something you ever really see.
It's just so strange to me, man, that they... I don't know who you keep back to defend, but it's not Hell, right?
I mean, if Hell sits at the Phoenix...
I think it's Odin, honestly. I think Odin's the person you keep back to defend that. Just because he can, like, cage the wave out and stuff. He can buy a lot of time. But, yeah, they gotta get their Hell into team fights, or there's no point in having a Hell, right?
And that's one of the things. The Hell rotated over earlier on, found a double kill.
Yeah.
For Cognitive Gaming. Still, though, they have a lead. Gold Fury has respawned. Ward coverage in favor of Noble for now. They have a sentry on top of it. But, I mean, this has just been a brawl, honestly. Like, both teams just want to fight nonstop. It's like, we're not baiting for Gold Furies. We're just going to fight you.
Yeah, nonstop. And now Shame getting taunted out. Stormy in a fair bit of trouble. but he actually doesn't take that much damage at all thanks to a Spirit Robe, I believe.
That's looked like what popped in now. Shame trying to counter ward. Might be a little bit caught out here. Gonna get hit by the stun and the combo. Freya finishes him off. Rotation coming in from Chronos, trying to find the 1v1. But Paul's here to support. Actually turns his attention, trying to kill the Chronos. Stellar Burst, is it up? That might be enough damage. No, it actually misses, and the ult whiffs as well.
Yeah, just a little bit too far out of range for Freya to get yoyoabc. He is actually able to get a decent amount of damage off. A nice Hoi ult from Lou, but yoyoabc forced to dash out, will get walled, and likely will die here as Lou and Supra back off to her mid lane tower. It's only the Awilix stuck in the engagement. She is chased by tanks, but the tanks might be enough to kill as she actually runs through the fire trail.
I don't know if he knew that does damage, but kind of killed himself on it. Surrender vote started, I'm assuming, by Noble Esports. They're diving. UzzyWuzzy is auto-attacking a tier 2 tower while a tier 1 tower is up. Gonna turn its attention, but Noble looks like they want to defend this. Junipera looking for a jump. There it is. Finds one. Cage comes out, and Lou can't follow up. Junipera stuck in the cage. I don't see how she gets out of here. Double tap connects, and it's going to be Cognitive Gaming with another kill.
That's right. Paul was singing the tower and just sort of zoning off the enemy. I think he's starting to hit critical mass here on this Hell, where he can just be in the front of a team fight and heal himself and run around so much that his opponents can't really kill him. Shame will die there to Keegan in the middle. Athena picking up a kill on Supra.
I mean, this game was so close until about 3 minutes ago.
Until the Phoenix.
Once the Phoenix push came out, it's just like Noble Esports lost it. They just were nowhere near as close. They tried to defend, still Cognitive Gaming come up with that, and ever since then, like you said, the Hell has come online, and it's just allowed Cognitive Gaming to continue to push. Keegan comes down. UzzyWuzzy finds the cage. Phoenix still being pressured by Soul, and it will be finished off.
Yeah, and there's just no really defending that Phoenix thanks to being in a 3v5 situation. yoyoabc does want Keegan, and Junie might be able to pick up the kill, but Paul finds someone else in return. It is the Awilix who has fallen as well in a 1-for-1. Respawned is the 4th member of Noble Esports, so they should be able to defend their newly respawned right Phoenix, but that will be a half health, half damage Phoenix, and it will go down the next time COG looks their eyes on it.
It looked like Cognitive Gaming wanted to kind of dive it right there, but they lose a couple of key members. Gold Fury has been sitting up for quite some time, and it looks like UzzyWuzzy and Freya, they're going to pull this here. Noble Esports, they've got 4 in the mid lane. They have to start worrying about the fire minions, though. You can see Lou split pushing on the right-hand side, just trying to finish off the last wave. And it looks like Noble Esports, they're going to concede this, or at the very least, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think they really have much chance. Well, they could contest, right? Like, Serqet could probably...
they have no idea what's going on. They're two-manning boys.
Exactly. They don't know it's gone. They probably assume it's already down.
I would assume as well.
So now it's really just a matter of to what extent can they defend their dual lane. And if Shame goes down here, it's going to be pretty difficult. But Serqet is a very mobile character, and with the next Deathbane, he will be just fine.
How do you feel about this? Shame also going Brawler's Beat Stick. Already has his ult to kind of immune out 100% healing.
Yeah, I'm not really digging it. I think the Malice would be the biggest damage boost there, Malice or Titan's Bane. But either way, UzzyWuzzy gets decently low and will be forced to back off. He can't teleport back in, so he's basically out of the fight. yoyoabc coming in, and Junipera taking a huge hit of damage as Paul finds the kill. Hell, when she is not dead, is a very good character.
And now Stormy pressing forward, gonna get stunned out by Chronos here, caught alone, forced to shell. There's the Suns, and Keegan comes raining down. Paul finds another one. Taunt comes through. The heals from Paul gonna keep Stormy alive. And look at this, so deep under the tower. I really don't think he cares. Just trying to throw out every ability he can. Freya gonna finish off Lou here. Paul still in dark stance though, not trying to heal his team. He wants kills.
Yeah, he's gonna try and go in positioning aggressively to get a little bit more. Now able to heal his team. There it is.
There it is. He's like, no, I'm doing damage.
More importantly, the move speed boost allows them to get into position to take down that Chronos. Paul will find the kill, sitting 9-2-3.
And they have
Gentlemen, I believe Hell ADC is real.
It looks real to me. It just, Paul gives up first blood. Ever since then, he's been on a tear. Junipera, last person alive to defend this. Shame coming off a respawn here. Phoenix falls. 2 down. Fire minions raining through the base. Cognitive Gaming, they could look to end now. A little bit risky, though. 2 members spawning in 10 seconds, and they're going to play it safe and finish off the last Phoenix, but it doesn't matter. Noble Esports say, we're done. 3 Phoenixes down. no Fire Giant even looked at, and 1-0 Cognitive Gaming.
That's right. And so I think if you're Cognitive Gaming, run it back. It worked.
No point. Not
They
to.
didn't have a response. Do the same thing again. No point in trying to change up what already works. If you're Noble though, more ganks on the duo lane, man. That's the answer.
It really seemed like their problem wasn't so much like player skill. It was just they just kept fighting, like even and then just missing their stuff when they did. Right? It really felt like they were kind of gank. Well, I mean, maybe Shame wasn't really ganking too much, but like the 2v2s and the 1v1s in the Soul lane, they just went too far, kind of.
Yeah, they kept dying to towers instead of players.
I wonder how much player damage the towers had.
You can't juke a tower.
That's what you think. You say that. You just
Soul can juke a tower.
Robin can, and Chang'e as well.
Yep.
But that's
there you go. There's their draft. Soul, Robin, Chang'e, dive the towers.
So we haven't seen those teams just yet, and I don't know how much of the console qualifiers you've been watching, but
every day, every weekend, religiously.
It really seems like there was a difference of skill between those two teams and kind of the cream of the crop in Eager and EDC right now.
Yeah, I think Eager and EDC are really, really strong teams. So I'm personally offended that El Chapo wasn't here playing for me along with Mifflin and
is that why they play for you only, right? Not even for themselves. They're playing for you.
Listen, I'm gonna send COG UzzyWuzzy hate mail, okay? All right.
All right. Let's just review this game real quick. We're gonna go back to the first blood, which we saw in the dual lane, and it was a gank onto that hell. Kind of what you would expect to happen if you got aggressive in that dual lane.
Yeah, repeatedly. Well, I would expect it to happen repeatedly. It only happened once. Let's check out first blood.
And this is just kind of honestly a surprising turn of events where Cognitive Gaming were trying to get aggressive.
Watch this shot around the backside of Stormy. Beautiful.
Really well played. We just also got updates, guys. We just got some updates, guys. Unfortunately, Noble Esports have to forfeit Game 2 as well. Evidently, there were some trouble in the comm system.
Yeah, technical difficulties with their communication.
Which could have been also down to that Game 1 where we saw them kind of all diving and not really. It didn't seem like the communication was there. So, unfortunately, they're going to have to forfeit. Cognitive Gaming are going to go up 2-0. We're going to take a look at the standings here shortly and kind of see which teams have qualified for the Smite Console League.
So, teams I'm looking at going forward into the Console League, Team Eager is the obvious front runner, right? They're so good. Cougar is a fantastic squad leader, maybe not in the game, but sort of as like a team leader.
Feels good, man, right? Like that actually is important. Like having, because you're a coach, so talk about that a little bit. How important is it to like the out of game aspect of leading?
I mean, that's captain coach's entire career,
right?
It's super important. If you can go into the game pumped up, ready to go, that just makes your team play better. You got to teach people to take the pressure that they feel on the stage and use it to fuel them, right? Like that little bit of nervousness that allows Deathians to solo Dimmy, that's what you want. And so having someone like Cougar who's really positive and upbeat and just a nice guy is super good and can sort of get someone like Mytheria or Mifflin to do a little bit better in his games and do a little bit more. On the other side, EDC with Chapo and Weekend, I think they're like the Power Star tilt squad, right? Like they're going to kill you or they're going to get mad.
And honestly, I mean, both of them have had success in their kind of individual roles, but sometimes they've been pretty prone to throw some games, right? EDC have had their chances to beat Eager, but they were kind of the throw squad.
It happens.
Oh, really? How about like kind of like super regionals?
Hey, you know what I always say? You can't coach a throw.
I mean, maybe you coach them to throw.
No. That would be insider betting, and I don't do that.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for now, guys. We're going to be posting the full results of the SCL qualifiers on social media here within the next couple hours. There's still the third, fourth place going on, but that's going to close it out for us today. Next week, we actually have the Spring Fling. So those who want to come out and support charity, I believe it's going to be on Thursday. It's going to be starting at 1 p.m. EST here live on twitch.tv/hi-rez TV.
Which team are you rooting for?
The team I'm on.
Whose team is that? That's
Hindus.
That's Hindu's team. I like
the
that
pros
team.
And bows.
That's
we're
right.
We're going to take it. we're going to take it right to Hindu. That's going to be it, though, for everyone here on the casting desk and everyone in the back. We thank you for showing up, and more importantly, thank you to Krett, able to fill in for Hindu Man as he's off gambling his
You know, I'm only half
earnings
English,
away.
but I think it'll have to do.
All right, that's going to be it for us, guys. Have a good evening and have a good night.